Happy evening, friends. Social Venture Partners, better known as SVP, is back again with India's biggest virtual philanthropic event, Fast Pitch 2023. A very, very warm welcome to our audience tuning in from all over the world. SVP is the largest network of engaged donors in the world. In India, SVP is present across 7 cities with 412 partners who are philanthropists, professionals, entrepreneurs, and executives. As we saw in the video, our vision is threefold: to provide individuals with a platform to engage with philanthropy and become lifelong givers, to fund NGO for their projects, and to help NGOs build their capacities and therefore create greater impact. My name is Narendra Goidani. I'm a business coach and an SVP partner from Pune. We are super happy to have you all join us in this journey. At the end of this evening's pitches, over 57.5 lakhs will be given in awards to all the non-profits by SVP India. Besides the award, they will get all the additional amounts that you have contributed today via the donate button. To help us decide the winners of this evening, we have 3 esteemed judges. Our judges are Sohini Bhattacharya. She is the CEO of Breakthrough, a human rights organization seeking to make violence and discrimination against women and girls unacceptable. She has been an integral part of the social sector for the last 30 years. She is passionate about working on programs related to women, about gender equity and institution building. Her earlier role was at Ashoka Innovators for the Public, where she helped build the ecosystem for social entrepreneurship in South Asia. Our next judge is Shweta Sharma Kukreja. She is the CEO and Managing Director at Central Square Foundation. She has been a part of the founding team at CSF since 2012. She leads their work on foundational literacy and numeracy, early childhood education, EdTech, and she oversees CSF's organizational development. She has also been a visiting faculty member in human resources and organizational behavior disciplines at business schools. And our third judge for the evening is Atul Satija. He is the founder and CEO of the Nudge Foundation and the CEO of Give India. After 17 years of starting, scaling, and turning around various businesses in some of the largest and most respected organizations globally, he started the Nudge Foundation to fulfill his passion of working on inequality and social issues facing India. Atul has been named in the 40 under 40 list by the Economic Times in 2017. These 3 lovely judges clearly have a challenging task ahead of them to select the top 3 from 12 clear winners. Before we begin our evening's presentations, we want to acknowledge the deep void left by Nilesh Borde from Maya Care Foundation, who was our last Fast Pitch 2022 finalist. He was a wonderful person whose cheerfulness brought joy to all known to him. He sadly succumbed to an illness in late 2022. Rest in peace, dear Nilesh. Let's now begin our fast pitch presentations. Our first NGO is VigyanShaala International. Their mission is to collectively boost women's participation in science and engineering. They want to offer underprivileged girls a great career through a platform that brings the students in touch with committed mentors This will lead to bridging a vital gender-based gap created because of the lack of access and attainability. So for the first, Dr. Darshana Joshi.
Hello, everybody. I'm Darshana, founder and CEO of VigyanShaala International. I'm a first generation learner, born to an electrician father and a homemaker mother. Growing up in Delhi in a low income neighborhood, I barely had access to ideal role models or opportunities that could help me shape my dreams because my parents never had an opportunity to finish school. However, being picked up by a Delhi-based NGO, Udayan Care, and an opportunity to be mentored by a leading Indian female physicist changed the shape of my dreams. And I was able to chart my path from a Delhi government school to a PhD at the University of Cambridge. Today, my husband Vijay and I are scientists on a mission to nurture future women scientists, engineers, and innovators from the most remote parts of India. However, before I dive deeper into my work, let me take you on a journey to the Himalayan hills in Uttarakhand to meet Nirmala. Nirmala is a farmer from Pithoragarh. Young Nirmala loved studying, so much so that in class 5, she topped the entire block. However, unfortunately, at this point, she was forced to quit school to look after her 4 younger siblings. Her dream of studying science and making a difference died an early death. However, years later, when Nirmala became mother to Diksha, she was determined to champion her education. Today, Diksha is an aspiring young woman who wants to make a difference to her community with her education. She is attending the local college in Pithoragarh and is studying science there. However, her dreams are restricted by lack of access to good mentors, global opportunities, and quality learning resources. This is precisely where VigyanShaala by VigyanShaala over the last 2 years, Diksha is now an aspiring ecologist who is working with scientists from US, UK, and Africa while sitting in Pithoragarh. Right after her bachelor's, she was picked up by a London-based consulting company for a year-long internship. Today, Diksha's work on climate resilient agriculture practices can potentially impact over 4 crore Indian farmers. She is bringing the voice of her community to the forefront of science. And not just this, Diksha is also mentoring local students to inspire them towards science. Today, Diksha is an aspirational role model for many in her community. Just like Diksha, there are over 45 lakh girls who are studying science and engineering programs across various universities in India. However, over 2/3 of these women do not make it to the workforce. 2/3, that is nearly 30 lakh women who don't enter the workforce. Lack of self-belief, career clarity, lack of access to visible role models, combined with an acute shortage of skills and exposure, affects their progress in scientific and industrial careers. VigyanShaala's program Kalpana is determined to change this. We bring them expert global mentors and relatable role models, someone these girls can truly look up to. We combine it with live projects and soft skills training that prepare them for the 21st century jobs in scientific and industrial research. And we enable our girls to make the next leap in science, whether it's a job or a higher education opportunity. Began as a small project with 60 girls in October 2020, program Kalpana has grown from strength to strength, and our latest cohort in January 23 caters to over 2,200 girls from 200 plus districts across India. We have enabled pathways to top global universities and national universities for many of our girls, along with entry into industrial internships and job placements. Now we are entering partnerships with several IITs and ISRs across India and working closely with the state governments of Uttarakhand and Telangana to ensure that no girl is left behind and has access to the inspiration and aspiration she needs for the future. We are determined to reach 10,000 girls by December 2023 and 100,000 by December 2025. In our mission, we are supported by many growth partners in the last 2 years who have given us their unconditional support. Today, I would like to invite you to be a growth partner in our journey. You could join us as a mentor and share your expertise with our girls. You could connect us to a local college in your community, or you could donate today and make a difference. We are looking to raise 3.2 crores over the next 1 year to reach 10,000 girls from most unreached districts across India. And we can't do this without your support. I would like you to take this opportunity to shape a dream, just like mine was shaped by Udayan Care and Professor Shobhana. Today, your involvement with VigyanShaala can truly change the lives of these aspiring young women. Thank you.
When we see something with devotion, we call it darshan. We never say भगवान को देखने जा रहे हैं. We say darshan करने जा रहे हैं. May your work have that kind of a power that a devotee feels when he experiences the darshan of the divine. May your work transform our nation. Most importantly, I loved what was written on Deepshikha's t-shirt, saving the world. My darling friends in the audience today, thank you so much for making time and coming today. The stories you hear today are going to move you, and that's a promise. Here is an appeal to you. On the right hand side of the screen, there is a donate button. This will take you to the Give Do site. Donate some amount to each NGO for they deserve it. And then donate with your large heart to a few who touch you very deep. Be their cheerleaders. Shall we? Let's start supporting these fantastic NGOs right now. Just fill in your details by clicking on that donate button just for this once. It might take you 1.5 to 2 minutes. And then generously support them. For the first time to register, you might take a little time. Next time onwards, it will be 15 to 30 seconds work. Acha, all amount and any amount that you donate are welcome. 100% of your donations will be given to these NGOs. I am blessed, for I had the opportunity to interact with each one of the NGOs to know them and their work better. You know what I felt when I interacted with them? It was almost as if they were saying, मैं तिनका होकर भी तूफान से जंग लेता हूं. मुझे बचाना जमाने की जिम्मेदारी है. दुआ करो सलामत रहे मेरी हिम्मत. ये एक चिराग कई अंधियारों पे भारी है. So please, let's move on to our next NGO. Would you agree that school principals play the most critical role in creating an enabling atmosphere for teachers and students to flourish? Our next NGO is Barefoot Edu Foundation, whose mission is to transform schools into stimulating learning environment by building the leadership capacity of principals. This, we believe, will shape education meaningfully at the grassroots. To share their story, let's welcome Shubhankar Paul.
Good evening, friends. Today, as we discuss the challenges of the 21st century, do you realize that our future CEOs, the future Chief Justice, the future Chief of Defense, the future leaders of India are right now in a classroom like this? And the person who is responsible of providing them meaningful education and ensuring that they are ready for the future is the school principal. Hello, I'm Shubhankar, the director of Barefoot Edu Foundation, and we coach school principals to become leaders who transform education. coaching school principals and transforming education through that? Well, if you are from a corporate, you will agree with me that a corporate spends a lot of time and resources in making sure their leaders are upskilled, their capacity is built, a coaching is provided to the CXOs, the managers. But for a school principal, the journey is lonely. Barefoot works with such school principals of public schools and affordable private schools and their supervisors and coordinators. You must have heard about the saying, Jaisa Raja, Vaisi Praja. Similarly, in a school, the learning outcomes of the students are very much dependent on how the principal is leading the school. Unfortunately, 1.5 million principals do not have the skills required to provide meaningful education. At Barefoot, after a success of working with affordable private schools in Mumbai, we are now working in partnership with the Uttar Pradesh government on school leadership development program, where we are impacting 1.33 lakh principals. We are happy to report that there is an average enrollment of 54% across the 8 Diksha courses. 10,000 of our school principals have started their own school improvement projects. And our YouTube live sessions have been super hit with over 1.5 million total views. Our ambition is to coach 3 lakh school principals by 2025. Let me take you to a school in Bandra where Lata Sagar, the principal, switched away from traditional textbooks to project-based learning. This was not easy for her, where she was challenged with the lack of resources, lack of motivated teachers, but she ensured that her teachers received adequate training, and she instituted structures and processes with the help of her coach to motivate the teachers so that they would move away from rote learning. And now her school has project-based learning for primary and pre-primary grades. One of our other heroes, Fareed Sheikh, had a dream that all his students would participate in at least one sports. Again, in a school like his, this was an uphill task. But with the coaching support received from Barefoot, he was able to fundraise, connect with other NGOs who would provide sports equipment coaches, and liaise with a local leader to get a ground and ensure that all his 738 students participated in regular sports activities. And to boot to that, they have started winning medals in the state and national level. Let me tell you one more story, this time directly from Shaheen Jabali.
Barefoot education actually has built my ability and capacity in school management as well as fundraising and also in project-based learning, which I have continued in my school. Meeting with other principals has helped me a great in the way of understanding what are the challenges faced by the other school leaders and what are the things or the good practices done by them to overcome their difficulties. So it has been a learning platform for me also, and also to showcase the good and the best practices in my school.
I can go on with such stories of Latas, Fareeds, and Shaheens. All of this would not have been possible without the generous help from our friends and partners. We urge you to join us and support to empower more such Shaheens, Latas, and Fareeds and do your part in nation building. Thank you, friends, for your support.
In case you wish to connect with the NGOs today to take a deeper dive into their work, click on the request a callback button and they will revert to you. We would now want you to listen to Bithari Disha, who is doing phenomenal work to save our rural communities by enabling livelihood options. They do this through education, sustainability, and eco-friendly livelihood plans. Their focus is to protect nature and people. To share about their work, let's welcome Chira Ranjan Paul.
Very good evening. I am Chiranjan from Bithari Disha. We welcome all of you to some hard truths about our rural India. The truths which are beyond stereotype, truths which will make you think again. Our villages have poisoned soil, disastrous deforestation, and rampant plastic proliferation. And all these are threatening our very lives. And that is why we are Bithari Disha, based in Bengal, but working for the universe. We have started our journey with blood donation camp and relief activities. But the climate change, worst of nature, worst of people, brought an onslaught of tragedies. We took a bold decision to save our community, to save our livelihoods through education, through sustainability, and through eco-friendly livelihood plans. The first model is sustainable agriculture, second, tree plantation, third, waste management, which would make us to reclaim our nature for ourselves and to reclaim livelihood from nature. Through Pupils Knowledge Hub, we have aware the farmers about their existing process of cultivation and its harm. And we change their mindset regarding chemical fertilizers, hybrid seeds, and monocrops. And we continuously campaign in favor of organic fertilizers, integrated farming, proper land utilizations, and conservation of fertile seeds. We see the changes. And then we realized how the climate change, for which we, the human being, are more responsible, would also be slowed down if not reversed. We planted more and more trees by utilizing the unutilized land, collection of plastic, clogging there, and we see the changes. More trees, more livelihood. More trees, more cleaner environment. Then we realized how the usage of plastic is literally threatening our lives, and it is literally smothering the breathing of our earth. And the problem is, people did not even know how the plastic affected cattle, how it entered into the earth and remained there for centuries. The solution is awareness and discipline. We see the change. We are headquartered in the district of North 24 Parganas of West Bengal. Now working in 5 districts and want to expand in more 3 districts. It is humbling that our activities have been recognized in a very small way, and pupils are loving, smiling, where they learned, collaborated, and changed. This is our 3-year plan. We want to implant more and more trees so we can block the ozone hole and reach the farmers through our People's Knowledge Hub so that they can change and act for their next generation. We want to teach people to reuse and recycle, which merely they thrown away. This is our expectation, and this is our team who have dream, who are dedicated to bring the change. Let us save the world together. Let us do it as there is no second option. Let us do it for our children of the next generation as they deserve it. Let us do it with our many flaws. We also deserve it. Thank you.
If simplicity and grassroots level working excites you, I'm sure Bithari Disha's work would have ignited something in you. Our next NGO is Uninhibited Sukhi Bhava Foundation. Their vision is to build safe spaces to destigmatize menstrual health for marginalized adolescent girls. They do this to ensure, while they menstruate, girls are able to access equal opportunities and make better choices around their health, their education, and their rights. To share their mission with us this evening, let's welcome Pragna Shekhar.
Start with a question today. What is your dream? I went with this to 12 and 13-year-old girls studying in remote villages of Jamui, Bihar. And I couldn't stop smiling as I heard them shout out their dreams of wanting to become an MLA, a police officer, a teacher, an IPS officer, and a singer. What stood out in these classrooms with broken benches and fans were these young girls' aspirations were not yet broken. In contrast, when I asked the same question to a slightly older 14-year Suhana studying in class 8, she replied saying, "सपने देख के क्या करना है? मेरे पापा मम्मी मुझे नहीं छोड़ेंगे क्योंकि मैं अब बड़ी हो गई." In rural India, the onset of menstruation brings a significant shift in a girl's life, not just physically or emotionally, but her social reality. Suhana, for instance, is very aware of the obstacles she must overcome. She comes from a community where menstruation carries a heavy burden of honor, leading her to be treated differently as she becomes a woman. Unfortunately, even her school lacks the necessary resources to provide a safe space or any form of support. This is not just Suhana's reality, as 1 in 5 girls drop out of school soon after their puberty, and 9 in 10 girls miss 2 months of their school each year during menstruation. We can only imagine the silence around this as people still use expressions like "I'm outside," "a lizard fell on me," or "a dog bit me" to mean that they are bleeding. This shame and discomfort is passed down generationally from mother to daughter, as 70% still consider period blood to be impure or dirty. The situational reality is grim. Suhana and her friends struggle to articulate their even at pads, they don't have you when to go to a doctor. To find medical care, they have to travel 100 to 150 kilometers. How do we then create an environment that is sustainable and favorable to push for behavior change? We at Uninhibited want to create a safe space for girls to build comfort around their bodies and menstrual health. In short, become uninhibited. So they are confidently able to articulate what should be done and how to take care of themselves. To ensure this, we enable BEST, Best Period Friendly Schools, to holistically support girls through a 4-step model. First, they access B, behavior change education, by a locally trained facilitator on menstrual health through sports, classroom, and interactive sessions over 12 weeks. Throughout this, and even after the program, girls will have access to e-health or telemedicine helpline phone booths set up in schools for free counsel and doctor consultations anytime. Then girls find S, support systems in teachers and boys at school and mothers in their community as they are taken through sensitization sessions. And finally, they can find T, or functional toilets, and a range of free products in school to bleed with dignity and safety. Since 2014, we have served over 350,000 people in 22 districts across 10 states in India, and our goal is to reach 1 million marginalized girls and allies in the next 5 years cumulatively. We have had a huge impact on girls' absence from school during their periods, decreasing by 35%. And some of the biggest win is that more than half the girls broke silence around periods and sought support from family and friends for the first time ever. To scale, we are working closely through our fellowship program, partner organizations, and district administrations to take period-friendly schools and replicate it in some of the most rural and tribal villages that are home to 30% of India's most vulnerable girls. With all of this now, Suhana and her friends have a greater chance of showing up to school and participating actively in life. This year, our goal is to impact 17,000 adolescent girls by establishing 86 period-friendly schools with a pledge of 2.4 crores. In less than a cost of an outing with friends, you can support one girl's journey in becoming uninhibited at just 1,385 rupees. It is a road less taken, but a road that must be taken to make sure that these young girls' dream of becoming an MLA, an IPS officer, a teacher, a police officer, and a singer becomes a reality. Thank you so much for your time and energy today.
What a brilliant name for a mission, isn't it? Uninhibited. It speaks solidly about the issue, jostles one into action, and it is also telling us what is the end goal. My darling friends in the audience, on the left-hand side of your screen, you will see a chat button. Do use it to share your comments and queries with us during the event. Come on, show us some love by using this button and keep encouraging everyone here by using this chat button. And it's time to share some very good news with you. A little while ago, we requested everybody to click on the donate button and register yourself so that you can start donating. Well, in the last few minutes, about 137 supporters have collectively donated 18,34,280 rupees already. My appeal to all of you who haven't yet done it, move into action. It is so wonderful to see so many lovely human beings in the audience this evening. Fast Pitch is certainly about a community coming together. And yes, don't forget to click the audience poll button and put your ratings, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, for each NGO based on how their work connects with you. Press the save button to save your ratings and press the submit button after you have rated all 12. At the end, the audience elections will be tallied and the audience poll winner will be announced. The courage to put up this huge event, Fast Pitch 2023, comes from last year's Fast Pitch. It was electrifying to listen to the stories of last year's finalists. It is always a good thing to reconnect with people who have touched you deep. Let's now hear a little about how 2 of our last year's Fast Pitch finalists feel about their journey during and after the event. Let me welcome Manjari Joshi from Maya Care Foundation and Jairaj D'Souza from Shamta.
Thank you, Narendra.
It's good to have you both. Manjari, how did participating in Fast Pitch benefit you personally?
Narendra, first thing, thanks a lot for initially just paying tribute to our dear Nilesh, who passed away last year and was part of this. Last year, my husband and co-founder of Maya Care and me were watching Fast Pitch like this. And while Nilesh was speaking, even before the announcement came, we just couldn't stop the tears because we saw 11 years of our life pass by. And for 11 years, my husband and me, we had just tried to sustain Maya Care through our own personal salaries. And we don't come from we come from ordinary middle class Pune families. We are not from a business family. And we saw that, Maya Care is going to stop. It's just going to die after we die or even earlier before we stopped earning. And there we saw Nilesh really, as thanks to all the coaching, thanks to everything from SVP, which he had gained. And he was representing Maya Care instead of us. And apart from the financial burden of trying to take Maya Care forward, we also have this burden, and we after that whole year, is that only we are invited or we are able to represent Maya Care the way it should be represented. So that was the thing SVP pitch did for us, that it took us from, just us to having a team really. And today we are, 900 plus people like Nilesh, people who are, come with varying kinds of disabilities, hearing, visually impaired, sitting on wheelchairs, cerebral palsy, all of that. And in their own way, they're representing Maya Care somewhere or the other, including at IIM Nagpur recently, where they presented a case study at IMA, All India Management Association, where they won an award. It's a journey. But SVP pitch is where it all started.
Wow, these are goosebump moments. What about you, Jairaj?
Personally, Ravi Shankar, I had put in a discipline into me to write down every point in my presentation for Shamta. And that was very helpful, because by writing down the story, by writing down what we needed to pitch for, clarity came to my mind. And secondly is, I learned how to keep the main thing, because generally we get into such long drawn details that we forget the main thing. So these two things have impacted me personally.
Beautiful. Amazing. Now, what can our audience learn about network connections that benefits NGOs the most because of events like Fast Pitch? Manjari?
So I would like to say that our relationship with SVP actually goes beyond SVP pitch, and it all started, and it starts with a network. We're still here because of the network. When 2.5 years ago, we were a small NGO working in 3 cities of India. And that is when SVP Pune came to us, and they offered to sponsor the first project for the first 50 persons with disabilities who will then serve the elderly. And from there, that network has just expanded, because we are working on projects with SVP Mumbai as well. We have a lot of, I won't say just the network, but just a lot of goodwill streaming in from SVP across the chapters. We just have people saying, good things and blessing us. And today, where are we? Today, a team of those 30 leaders, all persons with disabilities, 1,000 plus volunteers across India. And they are running a free service to the elderly across 66 cities of India, 4 cities of the UK. The dream is to go to every city of the world one day, thanks to this network, and have a helpline in every spoken language of the world. That can only happen through a network. And even more so, because of this network, we have been able to start a tiny BPO, a business process outsourcing unit, within Maya Care, and we have 6 projects, all run again by persons with disabilities. So I can only thank the networks and the wonderful people listening to us, saying it's not just about donation. I mean, we desperately need donations, all of us do. But apart from the donation, just your goodwill, just your connection, go and meet someone, or connect with someone. Here, someone needs your help. That is everything for us.
Thanks, Manjari. Jairaj, what are your thoughts on this?
Networking is important because we do not have all the solutions to all the problems. And within our sphere of work also, we are limited. And as you know, NGOs work with very limited human resources, financial resources, and other material resources. So networking is what comes in. So how has networking helped us? It has helped us with skill building. It has helped us with connections. It has helped us because we have hyped out our vocational training with the women into an enterprise. And it is an evolving enterprise. And at such time, we need people with skills and abilities and experience to come alongside us and develop us and help us to scale up what we are doing and move on from where we are to where we need to be. So we have a vision to make our products a brand one day. And thanks to SVP lead partners who came alongside us and who have helped us in creating communication material. They've helped us with developing and getting funding for developing website, for other things like the enterprise, for infrastructure, for to pay the women, and to also develop our products. So thanks to SVP and their connections. In fact, today, because of networking and because of SVP partners, we have bagged a huge order from a corporate, and our women are going to earn a good amount of money, and that is going to help us to achieve our dream of reintegrating women into society who have been exploited, who have been rejected by society. This will give them motivation, this will give them dignity, and this will help us to reintegrate them in society.
Thanks a ton, Manjari and Jairaj, for sharing your thoughts with all of us. Your insights are going to be very, very helpful for all the NGOs present over here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Naren. Thank you for having us.
It is so amazing to know how something can get unleashed within us when we are with the right group of people. Speaking about people, last year at the peak, we had about 700 people present in Fast Pitch. And to our delight, we are seeing right now currently, we are 1,533 people online, and more are joining with every passing minute. Time for us to focus back on the Fast Pitch NGOs. Remember to support these fantastic NGOs via the donate button on the right hand side of your screen. Keep your goodwill, your intentions, and your network flowing in the direction of the NGOs. And if you want to connect with them so that you can connect your network to them, click on the request a callback button. The next NGO is a very unique NGO, Jaljeevika. Their vision is to reduce vulnerability, build resilience, and empower local communities. They wish to do this through aquatic-based livelihood, micro-entrepreneurship opportunities, and reduce distress rural migration. To present about their work, let's welcome Neelkant Mishra.
नमस्कार। आपने कई सारे मोटिवेशनल स्पीच में ये तो सुना होगा कि टीच अ फार्मर हाउ टू फिश। जी हाँ, जलजीविका यही करती है। मेरा नाम नीलकंठ है और मैं जलजीविका का फाउंडर। पिछले कई वर्षों से हम यही प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि किस तरह भारत के 70 लाख हेक्टेयर जल क्षेत्र में मछली पालन के थ्रू आजीविका बढ़ाई जा सके, लोगों का रोजगार बढ़ाया जा सके। मेरी यात्रा शुरू हुई 2006 में। उन दिनों मैं बुंदेलखंड के सूखाग्रस्त क्षेत्र में काम कर रहा था, जहां की भयंकर सूखे से सारे किसान परेशान थे। एक तरफ जहां पर सूखा से लोग रोजगार के लिए पलायन कर रहे थे, वहीं पर जिन तालाबों में पानी था वहां मछुआरे जो है वो मछली पकड़कर अपना रोजगार सृजित कर रहे थे। ये मेरे लिए पहला अनुभव था मछली पालन, तालाब और रोजगार को समझने का। फिर 2009-10 में बिहार की बाढ़ की त्रासदी आपने सुनी होगी, लाखों लोग बेघर हो गए थे और उन दिनों भी जो मछुआरे थे वे बाढ़ के पानी से, नदी से मछली पकड़कर अपना रोजगार कर रहे थे। ये एक नए संभावना की तलाश थी जिसे 2013 में हमने जलजीविका का नाम दिया। अब अगर हम बात करें देश की इस व्यवस्था के बारे में, इस क्षेत्र के बारे में, तो करीबन 3 करोड़ परिवार जो है वो मछली पालन से जुड़े हुए हैं और उनमें 44% महिलाओं की भागीदारी है, प्रत्यक्ष अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से। आज जब देश की सारी एजेंसी ये कोशिश कर रही है कि महिलाओं को हर क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ाया जा सके, मछली पालन के क्षेत्र में ये तो सालों से होता आ रहा है, जिस पर हमारा ध्यान ही नहीं किया है। देश की 70% से ज्यादा मछली पालन छोटे तालाब, पोखर, नदी, डैम, रिजर्वायर, इन सब चीजों से आता है और अभी भी हमारे देश में 50% से ज्यादा जल क्षेत्र में मछली पालन की अपॉर्चुनिटी है, जिसे हमने अभी तक पूरा नहीं कर पाए। इतना सारे उत्पादन होने के बावजूद भी 70% मछुआरे परिवार गरीबी रेखा के नीचे है। जी हाँ, 70%। अब अगर स्थिति इस तरह से है तो अगर हम बात करें अपने क्षेत्र के बारे में, तो इन तमाम मुश्किलों के बीच में भी आशा की किरण दिखती है। जैसे कि प्रजक्ता एक महिला है यवतमाल से। यवतमाल का नाम आपने सुना ही होगा कि किस तरह वहां किसानों की, फार्मर सुसाइड की काफी किस्से हुए थे। प्रजक्ता यवतमाल से हैं और हमारे साथ 2016-17 से जुड़ी हैं। वो मछली पालन से जुड़ी, आज अपने परिवार की मेन ब्रेड अर्नर है और साथ ही साथ दूसरे किसानों को भी मछली पालन से वो जोड़ रही। आज प्रजक्ता की तरह 15 और मत्स्य सखी हैं जिन्होंने 500 से ज्यादा किसानों को यवतमाल में मछली पालन से जोड़ा है और इनके प्रयास से लोगों के आजीविका में, परिवार के इनकम में 40,000 से ज्यादा की आमदनी की वृद्धि हुई है। तालाबों में 1.5 टन से ज्यादा का उत्पादन हो रहा है और करीबन इस सारे प्रक्रिया में 1200 से ज्यादा माइक्रो एंटरप्रेन्योर जुड़े हुए हैं। सरकार से हमने 30 करोड़ से ज्यादा का इन्वेस्टमेंट इन लोगों के विकास के लिए हमने प्रभावित किया है और ये जो महिलाओं का समूह है, इनकी जो कोऑपरेटिव है, ये वर्ष में 25 से 30 लाख रुपए का रोजगार कर रही है। अब अगर स्थिति इतनी ही अच्छी दिखती है तो समस्या क्या है? समस्याएं तो बहुत है। समस्या ये है कि लोगों को सीखने सिखाने के लिए जो सर्विस सेंटर है वो हमारे गांव में नहीं है, जो क्रेडिट चाहिए वो फैसिलिटी नहीं है और उत्पादन के बाद बाजार तक ले जाने के लिए लोगों को बहुत सारे मुश्किलों से गुजरना पड़ रहा है। यही कारण है कि 70% मछली पालन, मछली का प्रोडक्शन देश में जल क्षेत्र करने के बावजूद भी इतने सारे लोग गरीबी रेखा के नीचे जी रहे हैं। अब इस समस्याओं से जूझने के लिए हमने कुछ पहल किया है, जैसे एक्वा स्कूल। एक्वा स्कूल एक गांव के अंदर ऐसा क्षेत्र है जहां पर लोगों की ट्रेनिंग मिलती है और जितनी भी नई तकनीकें मछली पालन से वो लोग सीखते हैं और जो माइक्रो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है उन्हें आगे बढ़ने का यहाँ हौसला भी मिलता है। एक्वा फंड एक इनोवेटिव प्रोग्राम है जिसमें कोलेटरल फ्री लोन 8% की दर पे किसानों को मिलता है मछली पालन से जुड़े काम से जुड़ने के लिए और एक्वा मार्ट में उनकी क्वालिटी इनपुट जो है उनके गांव तक उन्हें पहुंचाई जाती है। जो मिशन हमने 2013 में सिर्फ 200 किसानों के साथ शुरू किया, आज हम 20,000 से ज्यादा किसानों से जुड़े हुए हैं और उम्मीद करते हैं कि आने वाले 2030 तक हम 1 लाख परिवार तक हम जुड़ सके और हमारे इस काम को आगे बढ़ाने में देश विदेश के बहुत से साथियों ने सहयोग किया है। आज हम आपसे भी अपील करते हैं, हमारा सहयोग कीजिए। अगर आप CSR फाउंडेशन से जुड़े हैं तो सिर्फ 4.5 लाख रुपए में एक एक्वा स्कूल और साथ साथ 500 किसानों की ट्रेनिंग की व्यवस्था कर सकते। 2.5 लाख रुपए में 10 किसानों के तालाब को आप अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं और साल की आमदनी लाख रुपए तक जा सकती है और 10 लाख रुपए की एक राशि के साथ एक्वा फंड में आप सपोर्ट कर 50 फिशर वेंडर महिलाओं को आप मदद कर सकते हैं और अगर आप व्यक्तिगत रूप से जुड़ना चाहते हैं तो जो भी आप छोटी से छोटी राशि देंगे वो इनके विकास के लिए काम में आएंगे। इस साल हम 10,000 किसानों तक पहुंचना चाहते हैं और हमारा टारगेट है 2.5 करोड़। तो आज के इस प्रोग्राम में हम आप सभी से अपील करते हैं कि आप हमारे इस मिशन के साथ जुड़ जाइए जलजीविका के इस पॉइंट के साथ में, वाटर फॉर लाइवलीहुड, वाटर फॉर ऑल। धन्यवाद।
What a unique idea, isn't it? Wishing you and your project amazing times ahead, Neelkant. In case a few of our friends in the audience are finding it difficult with the donation button, please enable pop-ups on your device or on your computer. And in case the audio is a little patchy, just attempt to refresh your screen and we think it should work out well. Our next NGO is Deepshikha Samiti. They work in the domain of gender equality, health, and livelihood. Their mission is to build a safe and empowered environment for transgenders and the MSM community. They wish to provide opportunities for them to earn a dignified livelihood and integrate respectfully into society. To share their story, let's welcome a veteran of the organization, Tajuddin Khan.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम ताजुद्दीन खान है और मैं दीपशिखा समिति से बोल रहा हूँ। दीपशिखा समिति दिल्ली के अंदर 1994 से काम कर रही है और हम लोग ट्रांसजेंडर MSM, मेल हैविंग सेक्स विद मेल कम्युनिटी के साथ 2005 से काम कर रहे हैं। हमारा विजन है कि ट्रांसजेंडर MSM कम्युनिटी को एक सशक्त, स्वस्थ और सुरक्षित माहौल प्रदान करना और उनके रोजगार के अवसरों को मुहैया कराना। इसके लिए हम एक क्राइसिस इंटरवेंशन चलाते हैं, हेल्थ सर्विस और HIV प्रोग्राम के तहत उनको जानकारी प्रदान करते हैं, उनको सपोर्टिंग और काउंसलिंग देने की कोशिश करते हैं, और जो रोजगार वो कर रहे हैं उसे उनको नौकरी में लगाने की कोशिश करते हैं। ट्रांसजेंडर एमएसएम कम्युनिटी के बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हैं। पूरे इंडिया में 4.8 मिलियन ट्रांसजेंडर हैं और दिल्ली के अंदर 50,000 से ज्यादा की आबादी है। गंभीर भेदभाव, हिंसा और जागरूकता की कमी की वजह से जो ट्रांसजेंडर एमएसएम कम्युनिटी है वो भीख मांगने और सेक्स वर्क करने को मजबूर है। इसकी सबसे बड़ी जो वजह है वो है उनमें शिक्षा ना होना और उनको ऐसे कोई भी रोजगार ना मिलना जिससे वो अपनी जिंदगी बदल सके। हमने पिछले साल जो काम किया, हमने 4,000 से ज्यादा लोगों के साथ काम किया है। 3,841 हमने लोगों के हेल्थ चेकअप किए हैं और 3,95,000 से ज्यादा हमने क्वांटम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया। 105 लोगों को हमने क्राइसिस इंटरवेंशन में मदद करी और 546 लोगों को हमने रोजगार के साथ जोड़ा और हर एक की हमने काउंसलिंग की है। मैं अब आपको एक उदाहरण देना चाहता हूं संजना का। संजना एक बहुत गंभीर क्राइसिस में थी जब वो हमारी संस्था में आई। वो एक सेक्स वर्कर के रूप में पहचानी जाती थी। उनको बहुत गंभीर तरह की बीमारियां थी, मगर संस्था ने उनकी काउंसलिंग की, उनका आत्मविश्वास जगाया और उनके टैलेंट को निखारा। दीपशिखा समिति ने उनको एक ऑटो लोन दिलाने में मदद करी। आज संजना एक ऑटो चलाकर 10 से 15,000 रुपए प्रति माह कमा रही है और संजना अपनी जैसी बहुत सारी जो संजनाएं हैं उनकी जिंदगी बदलने की कोशिश कर रही है। वो उनको भीख मांगने और सेक्स वर्क जैसे काम से निकालकर सम्मानजनक जिंदगी की तरफ ला रही है, जो कि एक बहुत बड़ी बात है। दिल्ली सरकार ने उनके काम से प्रभावित होकर उनको बेस्ट सोशल एक्टिविस्ट का अवार्ड दिया, जो कि हमारी संस्था के लोगों के लिए बहुत बड़ी प्रेरणा की बात है। हम लोग चाहते क्या है? दिल्ली में हम जो 5,000 ट्रांसजेंडर एमएसएम कम्युनिटी के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि उनके लिए एक वोकेशनल सेंटर हो जहां पर फैशन डिजाइनिंग, इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग, बीपीओ ट्रेनिंग, कुकिंग ट्रेनिंग, ऐसी डिफरेंट ट्रेनिंग हम उनको प्रोवाइड करा सके, जिससे वो समाज में सम्मानजनक जिंदगी अपनी जी सके। इसके लिए हम सबसे पहले 500 लोगों को ट्रेनिंग देना चाहते हैं, जिसकी सेटअप कॉस्ट 25 लाख रुपए आएगी और एक ट्रांसजेंडर उसकी ट्रेनिंग की कॉस्ट 5,000 रुपए आएगी। हम लोग काम कैसे करते हैं? हम लोग उनके साथ 1-to-1 इंटरेक्शन, पीयर एजुकेटर के थ्रू, वर्चुअल इंटरवेंशन के थ्रू, और सबसे बड़ी बात, हम उनको हेल्थ सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं और हर एक की हम काउंसलिंग करते हैं, उसके साथ हम उनको जोड़ते हैं। इससे फायदा क्या होगा? अगर एक वोकेशनल सेंटर दिल्ली में खुलेगा तो सबसे बड़ी बात है कि उनका एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ेगा, वो अपना खुद का बिजनेस कर पाएंगे और उनको बीमारियों से सुरक्षा मिलेगी। और सबसे बड़ी बात जो है, समाज में उनको इक्वल राइट्स मिलेंगे, जिसकी उनको सख्त जरूरत है। अगर ये सब होता है तो उनका कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत हाई होगा। वो भीख मांगने करने जैसी जिंदगी से निकलकर एक सम्मानजनक जिंदगी जी पाएंगे। एक इमेज है कि जो ट्रांसजेंडर एमएसएम का है वो सिर्फ सेक्स वर्क कर सकती है या वो सिर्फ जिस्म देख सकती है। वो लोग अपनी जिंदगी बदल सकते हैं। हमने उनकी जिंदगी को बदला है। एज ए मेकअप आर्टिस्ट के रूप में, प्रोफेशनल डांसर के रूप में, उनको जोमेटो में काम दिलाकर, मेट्रो में काम दिलाकर, और यहां तक कि हमने उनको जनता के प्रतिनिधित्व के रूप में एमसीडी काउंसलर में चुनकर भेजा है। हमने उनको बदलते देखा है। मैं आपसे गुजारिश करना चाहता हूं, मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूं कि प्लीज अपने हाथ आप आगे बढ़ाइए और हमारी जो ट्रांसजेंडर एमएसएम कम्युनिटी है, जो बिल्कुल हाशिए है, जिसके पास भेदभाव, हिंसा के अलावा कोई चारा नहीं है, आप उनकी मदद करेंगे तो वो सम्मानजनक जिंदगी जी पाएंगे और हमारे समाज में वो अपना रोल अच्छे से निभा पाएंगे। तो मैं सभी अपने सहयोगी पार्टनर का धन्यवाद करता हूं जिन्होंने हमारा साथ दिया। और आज भी हमारे साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला के खड़े हैं। धन्यवाद आप सभी लोगों का, बहुत धन्यवाद।
Tajuddin, your work requires super commitment and very high levels of empathy. No wonder your friends call you Taj. All the best. There is a super fantastic news for all the donors present over here. It is very exciting. A few large-hearted donors have reached out to us and given us a very exciting and yummy offer. They have said, from now onwards, they are willing to match up to 25 lakhs to the donation that we receive from other donors. Which means, if the audience present over here collectively donates 25 lakhs, they will match it with another 25 lakhs. Ek pe ek, double dhamaka. So your impact will be double based on the donations that you can make now. Let's move on to the next NGO's presentation. Our next NGO, Sshrishti Trust, has a mission to create an educated and empowered India, with special emphasis on technology-aided education which bridges the learning gaps among slum children. They also have a strong focus on upskilling rural youth and women to foster social and economic equity. To share her journey, let's listen to the founder, Shanghamitra Bose.
Namaskar. Children loitering in the streets and out of school is such a common sight in our cities that we no longer see it. Who are these children? They're children of migrant workers who come to the city to earn a living and stay in the sprawling slums in deplorable condition. Their children roam out unattended out of school and often falling prey to antisocial elements. In Delhi alone, there are whopping 750 such slums. Little Suhana does not go to school, as the government school is some distance away. And the sister Priya, who is 11, also does not go to school, as she has to take care of her younger siblings. Sshrishti's center in Jai Hind camp, the rat pickers colony, has been a great boon for these children, as now they walk to the center, are on their path of learning, and Priya does not have to cook anymore. All the children enjoy the midday meal which is provided at the center. I started Sshrishti in 2003 by teaching a few children from a nearby slum at my home. They were children of migrant workers. Seeing their plight at close quarters, it has been Sshrishti's mission for the last 20 years to provide them quality education and holistic development. In order to bridge the urban-rural digital divide, in 2008, Sshrishti started its rural computer program and took the program to many remote villages of northern India and benefited thousands of children and youth by making them computer literate. Currently, Sshrishti's program run in Delhi and NCR, where it offers quality tech-enhanced education to children of migrant workers, and in the remote mountains of Uttarakhand, where through government schools and through Sshrishti's own centers, it offers computer literacy, classes in science, maths, English, and also app-based learning. The need for these services is so great that children often walk up to 10 kilometers of mountain track to avail of these services. The transformative impact of Sshrishti's programs can be seen in the life of Bhagwati, a girl from a poor farmer's family in Uttarakhand who dropped out of school in class 10 because of lack of money. And later, in order to avoid an early marriage, she joined Sshrishti's center, became computer literate, and is now working in a research institute and earning well. All this has been possible due to the dedication of our team members. The excellence in learning outcome that Sshrishti brings is evident in the average marks obtained by its students across all its centers. It is nearly 3x higher than the national average. Sshrishti has impacted the lives of his beneficiaries by offering quality education to over 15,000 children, app-based learning in rural India to over 128,000 impoverished children. It has made computer literacy in the lives of over 15,000 children and youth. And in rural Uttarakhand and Punjab, it has made 13,50,000 women internet literate to improve their livelihood options. We are grateful to our partners and donors for their continued support. As we grow, in the next 3 years, Srishti's programs will be carried on in Delhi NCR, in Uttarakhand, and in Rajasthan, reaching out to over 20,000 children and youth with a budget of 6 crores. We foresee a gap of about 1.25 crores, which we appeal to you to fill with your generous donations to help us reach out to all our beneficiaries. In India, 15 crore children are out of school, and only 21% of rural students have access to computer literacy. These children need a future. It's time for us to act now. Thank you for your kind attention.
The most powerful tool in the hands of the economically weak is education, isn't it? One educated person can lift their entire family out of poverty. Sangamitra, while your name has Mitra embedded in it, let us assure you, your work will find many Mitras in this Sangha today. To everybody in the audience, come on, what are you waiting for? Continue to support these fantastic NGOs via the donate button on the right hand side of your screen. Remember, you have the opportunity to double the impact through your generous donations. And if you want to take a deeper dive into their work, click on the request a callback button. Visualize coordinating and collaboration amongst able-bodied people is tough. Can you imagine how difficult it must be to take up a mission to build and support the ecosystem required for an inclusion and just society for people with disabilities? Well, this is exactly what Disability NGOs Alliance, DNA, wants to achieve. To share their story with us, let's welcome a social sector veteran for over 30 years, Harish Kumar.
Greetings from Disability NGOs Alliance. I am Harish, heading the fundraising efforts. Disability is not accepted in society. For many reasons, persons with disability are deprived of equal opportunities and decent life guaranteed in our constitution. There are over 2.5 million of them in Karnataka. Government and non-government entities spend thousands of crores every year on them. Still, most of the PWDs remain deprived of appropriate treatment and jobs. Most importantly, data that is central and critical to plan policies, programs, and projects for their benefits is non-existent. One NGO works with few PWDs and has limited impact. Its work and relation with the government, the biggest spender in disability sector, is also limited. 9 years ago, DNA was founded by prominent NGOs to strengthen the sector so that most PWDs have a better life with better services. Today, DNA works with and through a network of 206 organizations across Karnataka. The executive committee has 3 PWDs. DNA's strength is this collective knowledge and experience. Government recognizes DNA as the voice of the sector. An expression of this collective strength was COVID vaccination project with the government in 2021. This is an example of delivering projects at scale, leveraging our NGO network. In 8 months, DNA delivered 1.6 lakh jabs in 140 plus locations through 70 plus network organizations. Based on the needs, DNA has 4 focused areas of work. Capacity building of NGOs as well as the government entities is critical to deliver better services to PWDs. Close to 3,000 government and NGO functionaries were trained this year alone. DNA worked with government to evolve the Right to PWD Act, rules and implementation plan. This is now impacting every PWD on daily basis in the state. We are working with the government to strengthen district early intervention centers to make appropriate treatment available to 8 plus lakh PWD children. With psychophysical limitations, job opportunities are few for PWDs in the organized sector. Our livelihood model is identifying the appropriate livelihood practices by the NGOs, piloting them in sheltered workspace, and then replicating them. 60 PWDs and their families are being trained in weaving and tailoring in pilots, which are now ready to replicate. With the UDID, Maltesh now has an efficient tricycle, bus, and train passes. This has provided him much needed mobility independence. Now, he goes to work on his own and earns a livelihood on his own. UDID can redefine the life of a PWD in many ways. This legal identity card provides access to all government facilities worth minimum 30,000 rupees a year. It gives them an opportunity to a respectable life. UDID also creates a national digital database to support policy formulations and program design levels. Its implementation is slow. Government has appointed DNA to speed up the process. We wish to provide UDIDs to 2 lakh PWDs this year. On the ground, a PWD spends about 8,000 rupees to get a UDID card. In this project, he or she will get it for free. You can support to provide one card with 550 rupees or multiples of them. Let us change the lives of 2 lakh PWDs this year. Thank you. Thank you for your time and your support.
What a noble work DNA is doing, my friend. You are attempting to make the differently abled more able. More power to you. My darling friends, I'm sure you are paying close attention to all the pitches this evening and also using the audience poll button to rate the NGOs. Let's move to the next NGO presentation. The worst feeling as a human being is to feel helpless. Inequity often makes a person feel very helpless. Pinkishe Foundation strives to end the exclusion and inequity that period poverty brings. And they want to do this in 2 ways. 1, by advocating, and 2, by helping make sustainable and environmentally friendly menstrual products accessible and affordable. To tell us more about their work, let's welcome their Managing Trustee and President, Arun Gupta.
Ariba was just 11 and attending her class when this happened. The fresh spot of blood on a uniform was the center of attraction for the whole class. The sound of giggles, crude jokes, and finger pointing left her in tears and completely shattered. The sharp pain was very discomforting, but the shape was simply unreal. Ariba, Asha, Firdaus, and a whopping 70% of Indian girls get their first periods totally unprepared because their mothers don't guide them in advance and their school teachers skip the chapter on menstruation. Even later, nobody tells them how to manage their periods properly, and they live the rest of their lives in ignorance, shame, and the risk of mild to severe disease, including cervical cancer, but in silence. Hello, my name is Arun Gupta. I am 50. I've worked long years in top MNCs like IBM, Dell, and Amdocs. 5 years ago, my 16-year-old daughter Khyati spotted a pinkish stain on the clothes of her household help's adolescent daughter. Khyati spoke to her and to her shock discovered that the poor girl not only was not wearing a sanitary pad, she did not even know what it was. Greatly distressed by the dire situation, Khyati motivated me, and after some convincing, I left my professional career to start Pinkishe Foundation, with a single mission to normalize menstruation and end period poverty for every single menstruator. Asked ourselves, given this is a women's issue, can we make them to the challenge and solve it? So we started a nationwide campaign to reach out to simple, ordinary homemakers to join our online community on Facebook. Within 6 months, over 1.5 lakh women joined. We conducted dialogues with these women, motivated them, and even pleaded with them to join the mission. Hundreds of them agreed, and we started Pad Bank. Our volunteer women started distributing free sanitary pads and conducting menstrual literacy workshops in schools, villages, and communities in their respective localities. These amazing women teach young girls about their bodies, the changes during puberty, the process of menstruation, various kinds of safe menstrual products and their proper usage and disposal. Over the last 5 years, our volunteers have conducted more than 2,500 physical education workshops and pad distribution camps. We have worked with school girls in over 1,000 rural schools. We have directly benefited over 5 lakh menstruators across 25 states and UTs of India and have distributed more than 50 lakh free sanitary pads. Our relentless online campaigns have sensitized crores of people. The high point in our short journey was when megastar Mr. Amitabh Bachchan came to know of our efforts and was kind enough to record and send a video of motivation and support. We are now a record holder in the Asia Book of Records. We are the youngest organization to win the prestigious Mahatma Award. We are also the winner of the Facebook Accelerator 2021. Our efforts so far are very satisfying to us, but the problem is so massive, they are not enough. Because far more girls their first period every day than we can ever educate with our current capacity. To find a sustainable solution, we have conceived a strategic program called Sakhi, which can normalize periods completely in a few years. Sakhi aims to train every schoolgirl before she gets her first period through their school teachers, whom we will train to become certified menstrual educators. We'll provide resources and handhold these educators to provide menstrual education in their schools year after year. This year in June, we already did a successful POC, creating around 500 menstrual educators in government schools of Meerut, and through them, training over 40,000 schools just in a single day. In the next 10 years, our goal is to create over 1 lakh such menstrual educators. Imagine if each menstrual educator trains just 200 girls in a year. We'll be training 2 crore girls every year. That is about the number of girls who get their first periods every year. Because of timely menstrual education, the next generation of women will never know that menstruation was ever a taboo. They'll be able to lead healthier and shame-free lives. To achieve this, we need to enhance our capacity and create technological and knowledge solutions like a multilingual custom web portal, a self-paced train-the-trainer program, and age-appropriate learning resources. Once we build this infrastructure, we'll run a pilot to create 5,000 menstrual educators to cover 10 lakh schoolgirls in the next phase of the program. We'll need 2 years and 2 crores for this. period taboos and party exist since the start of the human race. I call it the longest running pandemic in the world. We earnestly look forward to generous support from partners like you to help us ensure that every girl enjoys her periods with safety, pride, and dignity. Thank you.
It's amazing to find the father and daughter combination driving such a necessary initiative with such amazing lofty goals. Your daughter's name is Khyati, which means fame. May this work bring you lots and pots of fame, which in turn enables you to create greater social impact in the lives of these 2 crore girls. When you listen to the work of our next NGO, you will believe that you and I are winners of a cosmic lottery. Through its interventions, South Kolkata Hamari Muskan works hard to combat organized commercial sexual exploitation. They wish to prevent children and youth from entering prostitution. They also help the many who are already exploited transition from prostitution into tertiary professions through mainstream education, vocational training, and psychosocial care. To share about the difficult work being done by them, let's welcome Paromita Chaudhary.
Good evening. My name is Paromita and I'm representing South Kolkata Hamari Muskan today. We work in 2 red light areas of Kolkata, Bowbazar and Sonagachi. This is Priya. Priya interviewed these 2 prominent ladies and we are very proud of her actually. And she is in college right now. She loves photography, enjoying with her friends. Her journey could have been very different and dark. Priya could never experience the nurturing hands of her mother. She was orphaned at a very young age, lost both of them, both the parents, to alcohol abuse. Priya represents the children who are born and brought up in the red light area. They remain absolutely cut off from the mainstream society. South Kolkata Hamari Muskan has zero tolerance towards abuse, exploitation, and violence towards women and children. And we believe the change is possible even in a red light society. We listened to the children, heard their narrative, and that is how we developed our strategy from their stories. For us, the community partnership and community involvement is very important. So we were able to mobilize the women of the community to work for the community on one side. And on the other side, we were able to mobilize the local power leaders or local mafia, so to say, to offer their space, the clubs that they have, to run our centers. We believe in the power of the mind. Since this is a new leap for the community, we are at every step towards their new journey. We brought together all stakeholders who were relevant and asked them to support us to bring about this change so that it is sustainable. We just wanted to break the cycle for each family. We've seen that when the mothers are safe, the children feel safe. And our program has tried to work on the resilience of these children and their mothers to, on one hand, withstand the push from the mainstream society, and on the other, to face the pull from their own community. The Pampers program looks at early childhood care and education. The Nurture program focuses on mainstream education. In this program, we collaborate with 30 mainstream schools, and mainstream schooling is absolutely non-negotiable. In Breakthrough, the focus is job readiness and higher education. In Dignity, we are looking at alternative livelihood options. And this is the area where most of the children's mother is kind of, encouraged to join. So we started our journey in 2009, and now standing in 2023, if we reflect back, it was an enriching journey for us. We graduated from 1 red light area to 2. Now we have 7 centers. When we started, we had 1. We started with 16 children. Now we have 300 children, 165 women on board with us, 88 of them having financial assistance from our side, and 95 youth. Now the 16 children whom we started with are part of the youth, 95 youth now. This is our team. We are 45 of us. So there's a mix of teachers, social workers, caregivers, mental health professionals, child protection professionals. Without the experts, this journey would not have been possible. We thank our donors. Without their support and encouragement, it would have been impossible. Currently, we have a shortfall of 65 lakhs. And that would, mean that we have to cut down on 3 centers and the Pampers program. Now, the Pampers program currently supports 50 infants. 20 of them would be soon graduating to the Nurture program. And our dream this year is to have our own resource center, which is a training center, which would be outside the red light area. And this will help us to take Dignity and Breakthrough program to the next level. So the total ask is 1 crore and 15 lakhs. So where your money could be going, 7,500 is the cost per child per month. Rupee 5 lakh could support the following. You could also help mentor our youth or give us leadership training. Please help us make many more prayers. And thank you so much for your time.
Your organization is working deep and is attempting to solve the issue right at the root level. May the work of South Kolkata Hamari Muskan bring a Muskan to thousands of faces and brighten their dark lives. Before we go ahead, here is a super exciting and happy announcement that we have to make, which will make all of you clap wherever you are. So far, through online and offline donations, we have just crossed the magical number of 1 crore rupees. Yay! And keep it flowing. Let's see how much we can collect. Such a beautiful collection of good-hearted people today. Our next NGO does fascinating work. All of us know that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. What about the Jacks who cannot play? And what about the Jacks no one wants to play with? The Umoya Foundation curates and implements sports and play-based education program for children with intellectual disabilities, locomotor challenges, and developmental disorders. Through their intervention, they focus on creating three things in the children: develop their physical fitness, sharpen their developmental skills, and enhance their mental well-being. To fulfill his dream of building an inclusive culture, let's hear it from Aditya Kevi.
Sports, a Delhi-based non-profit. Take a moment to remember your earliest childhood memory with your friends or with your cousins over the summer break. I'm sure it will be moments of playing, right? Playing is so much fun, and it's also the first form of learning. But unfortunately, it is also the first form of exclusion for children with disabilities. I experienced this personally when I was bedridden for a very long time due to a sports injury. And I started getting reinforced when I walked into my Teach for India classroom with 5 children with disabilities. In order to create a culture of inclusion, I started a football program, including these children. The growth just surprised me. One of the kids became part of the school team. All of the kids came together to coin not only the team name, but also the team logo. This was the power of sports. Each kid got a voice. Unfortunately, children with disabilities are considered as a burden. It impacts not just the child, but the entire family. In India, there are 10 million children with disabilities. Out of them, 4 out of 5 have no opportunity to play. This impacts their overall development, such as education, healthcare, and livelihood. That is why the children need us today more than ever. Umoya is the only organization in the country ensuring every child with disability prospers to success through their right to play. We empower children by building their physical developmental skills, mental well-being, and their life skills such as teamwork and confidence. Our team of adapted sports mentors implement the program as part of the school curriculum. Irrespective of the extent of the disability, we ensure 100% of the children participate in our program. We are currently implementing our direct intervention in the state of Delhi with 7 schools and reaching out to 510 children with disabilities. Along with direct intervention, our program for scale is the Train the Trainer program. Over the years, we have trained more than 500 teachers and parents to empower children in their home environment, classroom, through our hands-on play program. Through our journey, we realized that 2 major challenges are the social stigma and the lack of inclusive platforms. We created one-of-a-kind inclusive sports academy for children with and without disabilities to come, play together, and learn together. We also collaborate with organizations and schools to host inclusive sports festivals and workshops to showcase the potential of children with disabilities and build empathy. Through this, we have reached out to more than 3,000 community members. Our children have grown exponentially in skills, developmental skills, life skills, which are essential to become independent and perform activities of daily living. Our program complements the classroom learning. 85% of the teachers have observed better classroom performance in the children through our hands-on play program. Our moments of pride are when children participate in competitions confidently. Over the years, we have more than 15 medals in various sports events. Along with the medals, our stories of children like Daksh and Akshay continue to inspire us on a daily basis. Akshay used to drag Daksh, the child with cerebral palsy, on wheelchair, that he used to be quite afraid of him. Through our buddy system, we brought them together, incentivized them, made Akshay the cheerer for Daksh, and now he supports Daksh not just on the field, but also off the field. And he does not let us even change the buddy now. Children like Daksh, Akshay, Mupu, Ayush continue to inspire us on a daily basis through their grit and dedication. We have a very competent team to make this all happen. Our team has more than 25 years of cumulative experience in sports and education. Our core team of Lokesh and Deepshikha are qualified sports science graduates and have represented Umoya at international platforms such as UNESCO. We have a great team of leaders across the different sectors helping us on our vision. We are all geared up to reach out to 2,500 children with disabilities across the country, and we need your support to make it happen so that they ensure they reach out to their maximum potential. Every 10,000 rupees of yours will empower 4 children with disabilities and a chance to change the destinies of their families, reduce the social stigma, the burden of the therapies, and a chance to get a better livelihood. We have created a great support of ecosystem of support for us, and today we invite you to join our movement to ensure we reach out to more children like Daksh, Akshay, Ayush, and Muku, and ensure every child reaches out to their maximum potential through their right to play. Thank you.
Aditya, the difference between a dead body and a person who's sleeping is the presence or absence of spirit. Your organization, Umoya Foundation, means the spirited foundation. May this spirit remain strong, spread far, and enliven thousands of lives. There is a saying in Zen, when a student is ready, the teacher appears. Our next NGO, Teach, has appeared in the lives of students with hearing and speech impairment when no one knew how to help them and support them. Teach has designed a holistic developmental model that leads to the overall development of the students. To share more about their amazing work, let's hear from the founder, Aman Sharma.
ये जो क्षण था जहां आपको लगा मेरी आवाज आप तक पहुंच नहीं रही है, अक्सर जिंदगी बिता देते हैं भारत में 1 करोड़ ऐसे बच्चे जो बचपन से बोल सुन नहीं सकते। अभी हमारे इवेंट में भी हमें बीच में बेचैनी सी हुई थी, ये वही बेचैनी है। आइए जरा जानते हैं उन बच्चों के बारे में। आज भी हमारे देश में जब वो बच्चे पैदा होते हैं, सबसे पहले माँ बाप को क्या लगता है, यार ये पिछले जन्म का पाप तो नहीं, क्या हो गया मेरे साथ? जबकि कोई ये नहीं सोचता, यार ये छोटा सा बच्चा है, इसे हंसने दो, मुस्कुराने दो। बच्चा धीरे धीरे बड़ा होते रहता है, माँ बाप इस इंतजार में कि अब बोलेगा, अब बोलेगी, जांच कोई नहीं करवा पाता, और बच्चे के सुनने के साथ साथ बोलने की क्षमता भी चली जाती है। आज जब इवेंट के बाद आप घर जाएंगे तो अपने बच्चों से पूछिए कि उनके स्कूल में ऐसे बच्चे पढ़ते हैं। आई एम श्योर द आंसर विल बी नो, बिकॉज इंक्लूजन एक एब्स्ट्रैक्ट शब्द बन के रह गया है। इसके लिए सरकार ने स्पेशल स्कूल तैयार की, और उस स्पेशल स्कूल की स्पेशलिटी है तो इसमें ना इंग्लिश है, ना मैथ्स है, ना साइंस है, ऐसे कोई भी सब्जेक्ट्स नहीं। और ये कर भी अगर कोई बच्चा 10th पास कर लेता है तो 40,000 से ज्यादा कॉलेजेस हैं, 1000 से ज्यादा यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, नन ऑफ देम आर एक्सेसिबल। ये जो नंबर्स मैं बता रहा हूं ये शायद आपके लिए नए होंगे, बट ये प्रॉब्लम आप जानते हैं, क्योंकि अगर आप रिफ्लेक्ट करने की कोशिश करें कि आपके ऑफिसेस में ऐसे बच्चे काम कर रहे हैं क्या, आंसर विल बी नो। Hello everyone, my name is Aman Sharma. I am from Teach and we are building an equitable ecosystem for these children. Let me share with you how. I'll share with my journey. 8 साल मैंने कॉर्पोरेट में नौकरी की। पहले 4 साल तो मुझे भी नहीं पता था कि ऐसे बच्चे अपने सोसाइटी में एग्जिस्ट करते हैं। एक ऐसा मौका आया जहां मुझे एक स्पेशल स्कूल में वॉलंटियर करने का मौका मिला, और तब मैंने जाना कि इन बच्चों के ओवरऑल लाइफ एस्पेक्ट में प्रॉब्लम है। यानी कि वो प्रॉब्लम घर से शुरू होती है और समाज तक जाती है। यानी कि अगर कुछ ना होता तो इनके ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट पे ध्यान देना बहुत जरूरी है। एंड दैट इज वेयर वी केम अप विद होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट मॉडल। इस होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट मॉडल के 3 पिलर है, नॉलेज, स्किल्स एंड एटीट्यूड। आज ये बच्चे अलग अलग स्पेशल स्कूल से हमारे पास आते हैं और 10th के बाद ग्रेजुएशन तक पढ़ाई करते हैं। ये जो सारे क्लासरूम में जहां वो बैठते हैं इज हाईली असिस्टिव इन नेचर, ऑटोमेटेड कैप्शनिंग, स्मार्ट बोर्ड, इंटरनेट, वाईफाई, ये सारा कुछ अवेलेबल है इन बच्चों की पढ़ाई के लिए। और ये जो बच्चे पढ़ाई करते हैं ऑल द कोर्सेज आर अफिलिएटेड, यानी जो 15-20 लाख महाराष्ट्र में बच्चे पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं वो वही पढ़ाई है। आज तो मोबाइल में पढ़ाई हो जाती है। एंड इन बच्चों के साथ कम्युनिकेट का जो तरीका है वो है इंडियन साइन लैंग्वेज, एंड ऑल आवर टीचर्स आर ट्रेन्ड इन इंडियन साइन लैंग्वेज। बट वी ऑल नो समवेयर ओनली एजुकेशन माइट नॉट सॉल्व द पर्पस ऑफ लाइवलीहुड। एंड दूसरी चीज, ये बच्चों के पास भी अपने सपने हैं। तो आज एक बच्चा या तो आर्ट्स एंड डिजाइन चूज कर सकता है, अगर बच्चे को लगता है नहीं मुझे अकाउंट्स पसंद है तो अकाउंटिंग सॉफ्टवेयर MIS कर सकता है, अगर बच्चे को लगता है नहीं मुझे कंप्यूटर सीखना है, मुझे उसमें कुछ कर, तो वो कोडिंग, प्रोग्रामिंग, ये सारी चीजें कर सकता है अपनी पढ़ाई के साथ साथ। पर जिस बच्चे के बारे में मैं बात कर रहा हूँ वो एक स्टूडेंट विद डिसेबिलिटी है। उस बच्चे के बारे में सोचिए, जो बच्चे ने हमेशा देखा है कि बाकी आम बच्चे आगे भाग जा रहे हैं, मैं पीछे हूँ, क्योंकि उसमें फ्रस्ट्रेशन, एंगर, एंजाइटी भरा पड़ा है। तो इसके लिए उसके सोशल एंड इमोशनल वेलबींग का ख्याल रखना बहुत जरूरी है। जब बच्चे हंसेंगे, खेलेंगे, कूदेंगे तभी तो बढ़ेंगे, और जब हमारे बच्चे खुश होते हैं ना तो इस तरह क्लैप करते हैं। Let me share the impact of our model. This is the impact. This is not me, don't get it wrong. This is one of my students, Savarmal Sutar. Savarmal graduated through this model. उसने एक फिनटेक फर्म में इंटर्नशिप सिक्योर किया एंड उसी फिनटेक फर्म में प्लेसमेंट सिक्योर किया ऑफ 25,000 per month. The picture is very powerful because last December he got married and last January he was actually holidaying in Goa. तो सवरमल ने क्या किया? इस मॉडल के थ्रू सवरमल को सिर्फ जॉब नहीं मिला, इस मॉडल के थ्रू सवरमल को सिर्फ पढ़ाया नहीं गया, इस मॉडल के थ्रू उसकी पूरी जिंदगी ट्रांसफॉर्म की गई एंड उसके मेन स्ट्रीम इंक्लूजन की तरफ बढ़ा. Sharing some numbers that support the story. From last 6 years, our results have been 99%. Our placement have been 95%. And 12 amazing companies have actually onboarded us. I am grateful to these organizations who are standing with us. But you know what? Future excites me. Because अगर मेरा मानना है, अगर मेरा फ्यूचर और हमारा फ्यूचर ब्राइट है, तो हमारे बच्चों का फ्यूचर भी ब्राइट है. And that is where I need your help today. In our Mumbai center, we want to build this as a center of excellence. आज we want to grow from 165 students today to 240 plus students. And for that, we need only 1.2 CR. But जैसे मैंने कहा, 1 करोड़ बच्चे हैं, तो यानी कि अलग अलग geographies में spreaded है. That is where our satellite centers and digital education will pave a road. And for that, we need 30 lakh rupees for 60 students. This year, we need 1.5 CR. मेरी एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट है, जो बच्चे बोल सुन नहीं सकते, क्या आज हम उनकी आवाज बन सकते हैं? थैंक यू.
This concludes all the pitch presentations for Fast Pitch 2023. A heartfelt thank you to each of our NGOs for sharing their stories with us. It is so impressive with the way our communities, businesses, foundations, and caring individuals have come together today to support Fast Pitch. This support has allowed SVP to bring back Fast Pitch within 1 year so that small and mid-sized non-profits gain the critical lifelong skill of sharing their organization story in a compelling manner. My dear friends in the audience, go to the donate button and click now, knowing fully well that some generous donors are going to double the donation that you are going to contribute. It will take a few minutes now to organize the judges in the breakout room so that the final tabulation of the winners is done. In the meanwhile, you have the final few minutes to mark your ratings in the audience poll. This feature will then close. The audience elections will be tallied and the audience poll winner will be announced soon. So put your ratings right now. We will be back in a few seconds with our SVP India Chair Govind Iyer and hear his views on philanthropy, SVP and Fast Pitch. So Govind, listening to these NGOs was very fulfilling, filled with joy, had goosebump moments and of course a lot of inspiration. My heart went wow so many times. Govind, I think the audience would like to know what are the origins of Fast Pitch?
So I think if I had to give credit to Fast Pitch as a concept, it was about 15 years ago in the US that it really got conceived as an idea to really have not-for-profits, to give them an opportunity to share their story. It was not done on Zoom. It was done in a live location, physical location. And I think Zoom has allowed us to do it across so many cities in India, the US, Europe, people from Singapore, different parts of the world seeing this today. And the origins were driven by the fact that how can we make our not-for-profit leaders who are so good at what they do on the field, share their story with so many others to allow them to impact and raise funds, which is a very important component for the ecosystem to survive. So I think that's really the genesis of Fast Pitch, which is to help 12 leaders every year have an opportunity to share their story and the goodwill and the contributions, financial contributions from society.
Oh, wonderful. Fast Pitch was done last year and it has been conducted this year too. Compared to last year, According to you, what would be some breakthroughs this year?
I think the biggest one has been the outreach. I think we've had many aggregators in the NGO ecosystem who've made a huge effort in spreading this word, both at the stage of selection as well as the stage of audience. That's been unparalleled in the way we've gone about it. We had over 3,000 registrations and nearly 2,000 people that came on, which is fantastic. The second breakthrough has been the fact that our not-for-profit leaders, I think the kind of work they're doing post-COVID is clearly a lot more touching, a lot more difficult to choose from. I mean, to give you some sense, Narendra, we had over 100 applications and we had to bring it down to 12. It was a huge challenge because there were so many good people that we could get, but in 2 hours doing more than 12 is really difficult. So I think the biggest challenge this year was the right selection and getting the audience and the NGOs in. The last one, and I must call it out in advance, Narendra, so I'm giving information that's come to me 4 minutes before this call, is we've been able to raise nearly 1 crore of rupees offline for our 12 not-for-profits during SVP Fast Pitch, the last 2 hours. While online, it's close to 50 lakhs, offline has been over 1 crore. And that is a clear testament to the power of their story and their communication.
Outstanding. Outstanding. I believe philanthropy is in the blood of Indians. Having seen philanthropy so closely, Govind, would you like to share with us how is SVP different from others?
So Social Venture Partners is really a means to have individuals like many of us on this call engaged in philanthropy. So not just cutting a check, but actually engaging with the not-for-profits. So as the SVP model is one that was created 25 years ago in the US, where they want every single human being to spend time with the not-for-profit, learn from them and contribute to them, both ways. And I think that's really the genesis of the SVP ecosystem. How can we make individuals better philanthropists and more engaged philanthropists? SVP is very fortunate over the last 10 years to have had currently 400 partners across India who really are working with about 65 not-for-profits and helping them with their journeys forward. So the SVP model is an engaged philanthropy model. There's nobody else in India or globally that has such a large platform of engaged philanthropists, all volunteers, all doing this out of the goodness of their heart and contributing financially while doing this. So that's the biggest model, Narendra. And the other thing is that we work with the not-for-profit for 3 years. Our commitment is to work with them for 3 years to help on their journey and not one-off. Those are the two biggest differences in SVP compared to other philanthropic platforms.
Oh, amazing. Govind, they say when you throw a stone in a body of water, you cannot predict how far the ripples will go. According to you, how will this evening impact the audience, the NGOs present, and society at large? I mean, how far do you think the ripples will go?
So the first thing, Narendra, from last year on Fast Pitch, during the event, we raised a certain amount for the other NGOs. The biggest gain was after the event. The number of connections that our not-for-profit leaders got from people who were on the call, the callback button, Narendra, that you kept saying, the number of people who wanted to reach out to their not-for-profits after the event and contribute to them financially and non-financially was significant. I'm hoping that with 1,900 people plus on this live cast today, we will have many of them who reach out to some of these NGOs and work with them over the next years. This will be the biggest beneficiary to my mind, not so much the financial benefit only. And the second benefit is I hope many are inspired to join the SVP movement and work with us shoulder to shoulder with not-for-profits to really help them in their journey. So two-pronged ripple effect, both I hope should happen today, Narendra.
And it's wonderful. One of our SVP partners' name is Ripple. Govind, for the past 6 months, a lot of effort has gone in making Fast Pitch happen. And while everybody knows about this 2 hour, 15 minutes event, not many would know what all has gone into it. So would you share with us a little about what goes into the making of a Fast Pitch?
So the first thing I would say is I'd like to apologize to some of the people on this, most of the people on this call about technical glitches that happened earlier on, which frankly was beyond our control because there was so much of, it was a bandwidth issue on internet in some places, so we weren't able to show it. That's the first thing that wasn't anticipated, Narendra. But what we anticipated was getting 2,000 people on the Zoom, was planning it ahead of time, making sure our not-for-profits could actually share their message in 5 minutes. The seamless journey of transition from one to the other, I think, involved a tremendous amount of commitment from our not-for-profit leaders and about 70 of our SVP partners, along with the 15 staff members of SVP who have probably put in over 1,000 hours to make this event a success. And I think that's really the power of the network and the power of commitment to really give this to the ecosystem. You're on mute, Narendra.
Yeah. What a beautiful team effort, Govind, and thanks for sharing all these details with us. Thanks a million, Govind, for doing what you do, for creating what you've created, and for all the relentless, boundless energy you put into AP and its mission. Thank you so much, Govind.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will now be back in a few seconds with our 3 judges to listen to their views about their experience from this evening. Thank you, dear judges, for your presence, for your time, and for your such eager involvement in this evening. All of us at SVP believe that you had a very interesting as well as exciting job. Atul, how was your experience with this fast pitch event?
So Naren, firstly, thank you so much for inviting me. It's actually an honor to be here. An amazing, inspiring evening. Pretty awesome energy. Thanks to you leading the way on that one. But more importantly, to all the participants who came super prepared, very crisp, to the point, and sharing their stories. Really lovely. I also loved the ticker moving in parallel through the entire 1.5 to 2 hours we spent here. And just want to thank the audience for staying engaged and contributing to the causes they connected with. So really love that as well. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Beautiful, beautiful. What about you, Shweta? How was the evening for you?
Incredible and very, very inspiring. I think also very, very humbling. Kudos to Govind and the entire SVP team for pulling together what you all have managed to. And Naren, thank you specifically for moderating, I think, with a lot more heart and not just content. I think many of us had goosebump moments, not only when the NGOs were presenting, but I think also how you were anchoring and leading from one narrative to another. So really very, very inspired and very, very humbled to be chosen to judge these 12 incredible people, organizations, and I'm equally sure with very, very strong, incredible teams behind that. So super excited.
Thanks a ton, Shweta. So you have been a part of many judging panels. How has this experience been for you?
Thank you very much, actually, for having me. I've heard of SVP for many years. This was my first time to kind of engage with it in this way. So it's been an honor because, all the 12 organizations, it was a difficult decision, because the work is so fantastic. It's also wonderful to see the passion because, in this sector, and I've been for many years in this sector, the passion is sometimes what kills us, and the passion is sometimes what motivates us. So it was fantastic to see that passion, and it was an honor. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, tremendous. By the way, good news is we are about 1,934 people online live viewing this evening as of now. Based on your vast experience, we would like to understand what more can SVP do to support the non-profit ecosystem. Shweta?
I think actually Naren, I was thinking of this when you brought in your winners from the last fast pitch. And I think your biggest value add to the ecosystem is the network that SVP has access to. And I think if there is a way to continue to curate it, not just around the fast pitch, and of course you work very closely over the 6-month journey with the NGOs, but a way to leverage the network with some facilitative role by SVP. I think a lot of us become part of groups or networks, but if left to the participants, it's hard to engage and find meaning every time. So continuity of the power of the network that SVP makes available, to all NGOs would be a great value add in the ecosystem.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thanks for that. Sohini, your words of guidance for us.
I think in today's world and in the run-up to the SDGs and everything, for me, always 3 things stand out. One is gender equity, and not just because I work on it, but I think it's very important. The other is climate action, and the other is, hearing marginalized voices. I think if SVP continues to push some of these things through the NGOs you are working with and you are choosing for this fast pitch and other programs, I think that would be a fantastic job and would help actually India to in the run up to the SDGs. That's all.
Oh, so beautiful and so aptly, properly expressed. Thank you so much for that, Sohini. Atul, your words of wisdom for us.
So, Naren, I'll speak not as a jury, but as an SVP beneficiary on this one. As an entrepreneur whose journey was supported by SVP in the first year, I can say from my first-hand experience that, like Shweta said, right, the SVP network is a golden of not just wisdom and knowledge, but also access to any possible resource you need in the country. And I do think that all the big milestones in the journey of my own work in the social sector have been touched directly or indirectly by an SVP partner or an ecosystem connected through SVP behind this. So I've really, really benefited from that. I do think that the power of the network is more difficult to access outside of the city you are in as an SVP entrepreneur. So I think one way to do that is how does SVP help the entrepreneurs in one city access resources on the other city? That's a useful one. And actually, I also have one comment for the organizations that SVP is supporting, not just the SVP, on how to leverage. I feel that, as nonprofit entrepreneurs, we all struggle to ask, right? It's not easy to ask. And I feel in SVP, there is so much generosity by intent and design available that the more you ask, the more you get. It's like a Kuber, right? You have to just put your hand in and take, and there is a lot more there. So I would actually request the nonprofit entrepreneurs to not hesitate to ask SVP partners they work with to ask more and more and not stop till they stop giving. There is a lot more there.
Super. We couldn't have expected anything more from our judges. Thanks a million, dear judges, for your time, support, and presence this evening. Thank you so much. It's time for us to move on to declare the winners of the evening. Tonight's fast pitch participants have delivered their pitches. Now it's time to award their effort with over 57.5 lakhs in grants from SVP India. The bronze winner for the Fast Pitch 2023 with a grant of 7.5 lakhs is Jaljeevika.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Neelkant. And great presentation indeed.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you to all coaches.
The silver award winner for fast pitch with a grant of 10 lakhs is VigyanShaala International.
Thank you very much, SVP, and my amazing coaches for enabling this. Thank you, Narendra.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Really, really, really well done and a beautiful initiative indeed. And the gold award winner for fast pitch with a grant of 15 lakhs is Uninhibited Sukhi Bhava Foundation.
Thank you so much. Really, really humble. Thank you for all the coaches. You can hear the team shouting behind me. So, yeah.
Very, very well done. Beautiful work indeed. Really beautiful work, and congratulations so much. And it's time to announce the audience poll winner. With a grant of 5 lakhs, the audience poll award winner is Pinkishe Foundation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Let us also congratulate the remaining participant NGOs who have put in a lot of time and effort to hone their skills. They win a grant of 2.5 lakhs each. Now in one screen, you see all. It has been a wonderful experience for all of us here at SVP to be a part of this. Thank you so much for doing what you do with so much passion, like Atul said. We are sanguine this experience has been as rich and valuable for you as it has been for us. Many congratulations to each and every one of you. For this event to happen, there is a long list of people to thank, all of whom have put their heart into creating this beautiful opportunity for India's social sector. Our SVP chairs, who in spite of being in different geographies, worked as one to make this event happen. All SVP staff who have been relentlessly at it, working even on odd hours with a smile. All SVP partners who spread the word, cajoled their network to join in today, carried out various responsibilities like being on the selection committee that shortlisted these 12 NGOs from 121 applications. And of course, the super duper committed SVP partner coaches who went out of their way and handheld the NGOs to be transformed as great storytellers. We are also thankful to several non-profit aggregators who spread the word about Fast Pitch, through which we received 121 applications. A large thank to Ravi Shankar Iyer, our storytelling trainer, the Dreamcast team who built this fantastic interactive platform, Grassroots Design Agency who designed our webpage, GiveDo, our donation platform, our dear judges, Sohini, Shaveta, and Atul, and the super fantastic, large-hearted, 100% genuine audience members who made this evening possible with their generosity. The fundraising page will remain live on the GiveDo Pro platform until 31st March 2023. Do continue to contribute generously and spread the word around. Thank you so much, and wishing you an amazing life of love, living, and laughter. Goodbye, and see you around.